Hello there. I am Shauna Lake, and I'm the founder of Deep End Talent Strategies. And I'm a human resources consultant and also a career consultant. Working with employers and candidates and employees allows me to keep both sides connected to the job market today. And one of the common themes and questions that I receive from job seekers is how to present themselves and compete without a college degree. So today I'm going to talk about resume strategies and interview strategies to set yourself up for success, to talk about what you know and what you can do, and de-emphasize the fact that you don't have a college degree yet, or perhaps you're not planning to achieve one, and that is certainly your choice. And we're going to talk about ways that you can tell that story, in either case in the interview. So let's dive in to talking about resume and interview success. Starting with general tips for the resume. Don't be embarrassed or apologize. And this goes into the interview as well. But when you're putting together your resume, and I'll show you some examples of ways to phrase education if you have some college education. And then I will also show you a sample resume at the end where there's no college listed, but it's such an impressive resume you don't even notice right away. So stay tuned for that. But if you have some college, even if you have taken one course or you're enrolled to start a course, having some college on the resume is better than none. If you don't have any college and you're not planning to enroll in college soon, don't list anything from your high school if you're older than about 23, maybe 22, 23. If you have a high school diploma and you're under 23, you can list that. But otherwise, people will make an assumption and it will be a question on the application. So you don't need to state anything related to high school after about the age of 23. If you're over 30, don't list any college activities that you were a part of, and certainly you wouldn't have anything from high school at that point in your life. And then if you don't have any college, don't have an education section at all if you can get away with it, but you can have a certification and training section. So we'll also show you what that looks like on a resume. Okay, so when you're putting together your resume, you want to highlight what you know, what you can do, how you stay current in your field. And in the interview, you can talk about podcasts and books and articles and ways that you strive to better yourself and continue your learning and education, even if it's outside of a classroom. But you might consider enrolling in one class, so you can list on your resume that you're currently enrolled, but only if you genuinely want to do that. Because there is a financial cost, of course, and a time commitment. LinkedIn Learning, if you're not on LinkedIn, or you are, but you haven't taken advantage of LinkedIn Learning, if you're a premium member, which is about $39 a month, and you can get the first month free, you have access to hundreds of thousands of online courses. And I am not on commission with LinkedIn, but I'm a huge fan of this program. There used to be a program called lynda.com that was a lot of technical training, anything from Microsoft Office to advanced programming, and they have merged. So everything that was in lynda.com is now on linkedinlearning.com, plus soft skills training, communication, learning executive presence. So many topics are covered there that you can take some of those classes and then put those on your resume. And any kind of advanced computer skills are useful to put on your resume as well, because in some fields, particularly in technology and IT fields, actually being current on modern tools and advanced and emerging technology is more valuable than a college degree. The universities are often teaching programs that are kind of tried and tested and have been around a while, but a lot of companies want cutting edge technology, which you can't learn from a traditional classroom. So that may work to your advantage. I know a lot of companies in the IT space who could care less whether you have a college degree. They want to know how you're staying current on emerging technology. So listing those on your resume may be far more valuable than a college degree to them. Okay, here are some strategies for how you can list some college on your resume. The first example is education and service. This is if you perhaps went into the military. So you could list coursework. So in this example, it says University of Alabama Liberal Arts Coursework. It doesn't say Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, because this candidate did not finish, but did have some coursework. And that could be one class, it could be one credit shy of a degree. It doesn't matter, but having it there can go a long way. But then listing military service says a lot about a candidate and their dedication, their commitment to their country, their hard work, work ethic, physical work. So adding that can be very valuable as well if you have military service. In the second example, we have, again, general studies in labor coursework. So it doesn't say how much coursework, but there's some college. This third example is Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Network Operations and Security in progress. So that looks really good that you're actively in school. Or you could say, or anticipated graduation, in this example, May 2022. What that could mean is I am currently enrolled and there's a graduation date, or it could mean I'm taking a little break, but I plan to re-enroll and graduate by 2022. Either way, it looks really good. It looks like you're actively enrolled, and a employer will see that and think, okay, maybe they don't meet my desired education requirements right now, but they will pretty soon. And you could still be a very viable candidate for them. And then this final example here says Ivy Tech, hospitality management, coursework to begin fall 20XX. So this is saying I have every intention of enrolling. I know this is important and it is in my plan. So that can look really impressive as well. So again, I'm going to show you a full resume at the end of this session. But let's switch over into general tips for interviewing without a college degree. So my first piece of advice is, it's not the 800-pound gorilla to them. It is to you. But if you're in an interview, in person or over the phone, chances are they already know you don't have a degree. You probably had to answer that on the application, and they've seen your resume, and yet they still want to talk to you. So why would you go into it apologizing and feeling as if it's this 800-pound gorilla when they already know? It would be like me trying to pretend like I don't have brown hair. It's pretty obvious that I do, and yet you're watching, they're talking to you. So move forward, own it, and be confident to tell your story. My second piece of advice is to know your audience. If you know who you're interviewing with ahead of time and you can go to LinkedIn and look at their profile, you may learn that one of the people you're interviewing with, or the person that's your future boss, doesn't have a degree either. So why would you need to spend all this time developing an elaborate story when they probably get where you're coming from? On the other hand, if you are going to meet with someone who has a master's degree or a PhD, they probably value education and they probably think it's an investment even worth going into debt for. So be careful how you talk about your rationale for not doing it. If you insult someone who throws away money at a liberal arts college, well, I have a liberal arts degree. I might be offended by that. So just know your audience as best as you can, and online research makes that really easy today. Okay, the third piece of advice is to tell your story as if it was all planned out. We know that life throws curveballs at us. Not many of us are doing what we thought we would do when we grew up in the future. And nevertheless, here we are. And I do believe everything happens for a reason. But what you don't want to come across in the interview is, yeah, life took me here and then I didn't expect it, but then I had this event and it took me over here. And even though that's probably true for everybody, even the people interviewing you, what they really want to know is, if I hire you, you're going to have a plan, you're going to work your plan, you're thoughtful, you're purposeful, you're organized. So that's how you want to portray your background in the interview, including education. And I'm going to show you a couple sample scripts that can help you walk through this as if it was all in your master plan or you're in complete control. And that's what managers want to know. If you had a chance to see my previous video, I talk about the fact that hiring managers and recruiters they don't want drama, and I have other things they're looking for in their ideal employees. But if you are coming across as if you're a hot mess and life is just full of all this unexpectedness, they're going to feel like that could be some drama that comes along with hiring you. And that may be why they choose not to move forward, not the fact that you don't have a college degree. So the next piece of advice is to highlight what you know and how you learn. Find ways in the interview of working in kind of name dropping books, articles, podcasts, blogs that you read, ways that show you're committed to learning and studying in your field and advancing your general business knowledge, even if it's outside of that traditional classroom. Again, try to name drop, find ways of working it in. They may ask you a question about what was the last book you read. Be prepared to answer that. They may say, do you prefer podcasts or audiobooks or reading books or articles? Don't say, I don't really have time, kind of busy with my volunteer work and taking care of my family. Have an answer, because they want to know you're committed to bettering yourself and learning and growing. And that is more valuable sometimes than a degree. Don't make excuses. Don't say, I didn't have the money, because where there's a will, there's a way. If you were willing to get a student loan or find somebody to co-sign, that could have been a way that you could have gotten a degree. I'm not saying you should have done that. I'm saying these are the arguments that recruiters and hiring managers are going to have if you try to make excuses about why you didn't go to college. I started a family young. Okay, great. A lot of people have kids and finish a degree. I didn't have the time. I was working 2 jobs. These are all valid and they're part of your story. What you want to do is portray confidence as if I had a plan, I was working my plan, not, I had all these issues. I couldn't figure out a way to overcome them, because in the workplace, you're going to have challenges. You're going to have customer service issues. And we as hiring managers want to know that you're creative, that you can problem solve, that you can find a way around and through difficult situations. And so how you tell your story about how you've done that in your personal life matters. So regardless of the reason that you don't have a degree, maybe you just didn't see the value. I wouldn't say exactly like that, but I would talk about the fact that you went straight into your field, learning and mastering a craft, and that has served you well in life. And I'll show you a script in a minute about how to do that. But you don't want to say, I just didn't see the value in that, or I hated school in high school, and so why would I go to sign up for 2 more years or 4 more years? You want to paint everything that you say in the interview in a positive light and as if it was planful and thoughtful. And again, you don't want to make excuses. And then my final piece of advice in the interview is, don't ask them to pay for it yet. I have had job applicants tell me, I'll get a degree if you're willing to pay for it. Well, probably if I see value in you and I identify you as a high potential employee, I may be willing to help you with a tuition reimbursement program or something else down the road. But we need to work together first. We need to make sure that you're going to be a great fit and that I do think you're a part of the future of the organization. Just saying you'd be willing to do it if somebody else paid for it does not sound very professional in the interview. But if someone asked you, would you be willing to finish your degree, if we provided assistance, then you could say, I would be willing to finish my degree. And in fact, it's part of my plan, and any assistance you can provide would certainly be welcome. You can say it like that, but don't volunteer the fact that you would want them to pay for it before you would be willing to go back and finish your degree. Okay, it's a lot of information, I know. Here are a couple sample scripts as we're thinking about the questions that you might get in an interview about why you didn't finish college, or if they ask you if you have a degree. Here are 2 common situations and how you may address them each. So if you're not planning to go to college or finish your degree, what you might say is, I had the opportunity right out of high school to enter the military and serve my country, or start making an immediate living by learning and doing fill in the blank. From there, the current of life took me quickly to, again, what you did next. And I've been able to learn valuable skills along the way, such as, and then mention things that are relevant to that role. So such as planning and organization, event planning, human resources administration, learning pipe fitting, whatever your field is, learning communication skills, technical skills. Pick the things that are in the job description that are going to be important to be successful in the role for which you're applying. Okay, the other scenario is someone who is planning to finish. And what you can say is, while my studies were interrupted and or put on hold, but state a positive way. Say it was an amazing work assignment in a position that required extensive travel or family or I gained some experience in a particular field. Or you may say, I had to put my studies on hold during COVID because I had to be present with my family. That is completely valid. Where you're going to go from there quickly in your conversation is, but I'm eager to finish my degree, and then state your plan or your timeline. And then that has answered the question that's in their mind next, which is, would you finish, or are you planning to finish? And so you're going to go ahead and anticipate that. And the goal of using either of these scripts to answer the question is that they think, oh, I don't have a follow-up question. That was clear. I understand. And I think that's valid. And I'm willing to accept that. If you start introducing excuses or reasons why or objections, then they're starting to formulate thoughts about, did this person not finish what they start? Are they going to make excuses about the work if they're making excuses about their personal life? And so you want to say something in a very positive, confident way that leaves them thinking, yeah, I get it. Okay, move on. Next question. So speaking of moving on, some final tips about the interview. Don't overshare. They don't need to know all the details about your family and your kid status. They don't need to know about debt and your personal finances. And if there was a health related issue that you put your studies on hold or you chose not to pursue a degree, don't introduce other reasons why they may think, oh, bringing this person on board could raise my insurance costs or could introduce drama, or there's just going to be issues related to having this person here. I know those aren't reasons why people shouldn't hire you, but that's kind of what people are looking for. They're looking for reasons why they shouldn't hire you, oftentimes when it's a competitive field. So don't give them anything to work from. You want them to hire you for your knowledge, skills, and abilities to do the job and your positive attitude. So no need to introduce other issues. And then you want the theme to be, it was all in my plan. I'm working my plan. So they know that you are in control, you're confident, and that self-confidence and self-awareness without crossing the line between being egotistical will actually set you up for success when it comes to salary negotiation. If you've spent the interview being down on yourself, making it seem like you're so you didn't finish something, you're a weaker candidate because you don't have your degree, then you are setting the stage for, you can pay me less because I'm not as valuable. Or you can make me pick up your dry cleaning and get your coffee because I'm not as valuable. And that is not true. That is not the impression you want to give. Take the opposite impression, as if I'm incredibly valuable because I'm in control. I have a plan. I went right into learning valuable skills and I have all of this workplace experience and I am up here. Again, you don't want to be egotistical, but you want to portray and project that confidence and that control. And then when they go to make you a salary offer, that's what's going to be in their mind. This person's valuable. This person's going to be offended if I offer them something lower because they know that they are a professional and they're well positioned. And then when you start, they're going to be happy that you're there. They're not going to be looking for ways of taking advantage of you simply because you don't have a degree, because they think of you as this qualified professional first. That's what they think of, not somebody who didn't finish college. So the 800-pound gorilla is in your mind, not theirs, 99.9% of the time. So that is one of my key takeaways for you. I hope that is helpful. I'm going to switch over and I'm going to show you a sample resume that is so impressive, you don't even notice it doesn't include education at first. But before I do, I wanted to make sure you know how to connect with me. If you enjoy this training and you want to receive additional training from me, I have a Facebook group called the Deep End Job Search, where I provide training like this at least weekly, and I tend to pop in randomly with other tips and post some information to help people compete and win in today's job market. I'm also on every other social media channel except TikTok because I'm not quite that cool, but connect with me and let me know how I can help you in your job search. So let me switch over here momentarily to the resume. I hope that you can see this Word document. All right, so this is a modern resume, And I have this template available on my website. You can find it in many places, social media channels. Send me a comment or note. I'd be happy to send you a link. This is my contemporary modern resume that can pass every applicant tracking system on the market because it doesn't have columns and text boxes and tables and the things that can be problematic. So we have contact information at the top, personal branding statements that help set you apart. And these are easily customizable to match a particular job posting that you're applying for. And this will allow you to have to swap them out to match the job posting without having to rewrite the entire resume for different positions. Then you've got a summary section that talks about what you do and how you do it. And then professional experience, where you talk about the job title and the achievements that you've had. Quantifiable achievements are incredibly valuable and carry a lot of weight. And if it's a nice, clean, crisp one-page resume or even two-page resume of your experience, maybe community service, perhaps education or your advanced training and certifications. This individual has foreign language down here. It looks nice, it's clean, it shows a lot of experience, and at first glance, you don't even notice that it doesn't have an education section. And this has worked with a lot of my clients. So I wanted you to see what the possibilities of not including an education section if you don't have anything right now to add. And you will still answer the job application questions. And if you answer those honestly and they still want to talk to you, you're in very good standing to compete with other candidates. And then when you bring them a resume like this, or when they print out the resume, they're going to focus on what you've done and your achievements and what you say your characteristics are at the top. And the education is kind of a non-issue. It really isn't a subject of conversation, again, the 800-pound gorilla that you think it is. So I hope this has been helpful. I wish you the best of luck in your job search. Please connect with me on social media and feel free to subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified when I have new trainings that have been posted. Thanks and have a great day.